No, I get lonely quite often. I know I look like I'm always having fun, but I do. Today would have been my 4-year wedding anniversary, and I got my divorce decree 3 days ago. And I just remembered at lunchtime that it was my 4-year anniversary, or it would have been. And it's such a weird thing because like when I woke up this morning, I live alone, and I have no neighbors, and you know, I get lonely quite often. I know I look like I'm always having fun, but I do. I own my own business, and I do it from my house. So I'm always alone. And, I was thinking all day today, I was like, it's just not natural to be alone at like 32 with no kids. Like this was not how it was supposed to be. And then I remembered, I was like, wow, I would have been married 4 years today. And it's crazy because I have no children. My whole life got flipped upside down. I'm literally having to restart my whole life. And like, what are the odds that I never drive by my old apartment that me and my husband lived in like when we first got married. I drove by it today and it made me feel weird. I know a lot of people are like, you're not over your ex. It's like, no, I'm very much so over him. I'm healing because it's painful to start over. It's painful. It's hard. It is not, this is the hardest thing I've ever been through because, I loved him with everything in me. And now it's like, okay, well, you don't love him anymore and you're not, you're just by yourself. So anyways, random thought. I gotta drive, but yeah.
Now, what I just heard, blah, 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 blah.
You know what's crazy is, and I don't mean this to sound hateful or nothing, but like when you listen to a woman's story about something that went on with her ex, it's so hard to believe just because I've seen both sides to how stories are explained by the man and the woman. Whenever the woman explains things, she leaves out so much to where she really looks like the victim in every situation. You're probably wondering, what do you mean by that? I'll give you an example. I remember I was cool with this one girl and she would say how her ex was so bad, like how he used to cheat on her, this, that, and the third, right? I'm like, dang, that's tough, yada, yada, yada. He would, da, 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 whatever. Then you learn bro's side of the story, coupled with hers. He would get drunk, and she was part of the friend group. He would get drunk, and he would like do some flirting with her, which is wrong, 100%, that's wrong. But what Shorty would do is actually get paid to go hook up with dudes at their house. But he was so terrible. He was so terrible that he would flirt with girls occasionally. But she would full on go hook up with men for money. Did he know this? No, he didn't know. Or another story, right? One girl would talk about how evil her ex was, yada, 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 this, that, and the third. He's a cheater, this, that, and the third, right? She gets into a new relationship. Dude's treating her right, doing everything right. She's still hooking up with the ex that was so evil, apparently. And one day her boyfriend calls her while she's with this supposed evil ex. And she's licking his no-no square while he's calling her. Phone blowing up. She's licking her ex's no-no square that she said was so evil, right? But she can't seem to leave this dude alone. But when she tells the story, she only talks about how her ex was so bad. And when she talks about the new dude that was treating her right, she'll just say, oh, we didn't work out. I'm going to say that again because I lost y'all. She would say that her ex was so evil while still hooking up with her ex while with the new dude who was treating her right. But when you asked her what happened with the new dude that was treating you right, she would just say, oh, it didn't work out. We wanted different things. No, you wanted your ex. Like, their stories are never the full truth or the truth at all. It's kind of crazy.
It didn't just want you for an experience.
This should be interesting. Few discretion is advised.
Half the time with pretty women, men don't even take them serious. You're an experience for them. You're a cat in a mouse game for them. Can I get her? Pretty punishment. Getting all this attention from men, they get you, they dog you because of their internal insecurity. They don't even know what to do with a pretty broad.
I don't think that's how it works. Let's start by addressing her first point. Men want you just for an experience. Sweetheart, we are all an experience. Your attributes as a person create an experience for the person that is receiving you. Whether it be your personality, your charisma, your discipline, your conversation, your sex, all of this is an experience you are now creating for the opposite person. And the best part is you determine who receives the experience. So everybody wants everybody for an experience. It's not just pretty women. Now, whether or not your experience piques that person's interest when it comes to longevity, that's a conversation that's to be had. But being desired simply because you provide a unique experience isn't something that is unique to pretty women. We all have to deal with that, some more than others. Point number 2. I don't think you're getting pursued and dogged out simply because you're pretty. At some point, you must understand that your dating life is reflective and you are fully responsible for the people you choose to interact with, especially from a romantic space. You mentioned the game of cat and mouse between men and women like it's something that men are in full control of. If that is something you know you are not interested in, you don't have to participate in that game of cat and mouse, but I'm sure you do because you like to be pursued. And in that pursuit, that man must now figure out a way to catch your attention. And once he does that, he must now also figure out a way to keep it. I think the problem that you're having is you don't like to lose in a game that you willingly participated in. It's all fun and games when the pursuit is on, but as soon as it's not, now we got a problem. How convenient. Point number 3. Every time somebody does something harmful to you in a relationship, it is not always rooted in some sort of insecurity or some underlying hatred that they have towards you. Your mistreatment in your past relationships are not because you are an attractive woman. They are simply because that person is just a bad person and they make poor decisions, very similarly to how you made a poor decision choosing them.
I'm not saying all men, but that's some of the pretty punishments of it. Pretty privilege. You have access to all these friends, these networks, these groups. Pretty punishment. Are you my real friend? Do you really like me? Do you really care about me? Or do you just like the pretty benefits that comes with me?
Although I find it extremely odd that you would befriend somebody simply because they are attractive, I also understand that is common practice in the female community. I don't know why or who came up with it, but I do know that behavior is pushed and promoted amongst the women. And to that, I would say this. My Uncle Ben once told me, with great power comes great responsibility, which in turn says you are pretty enough to receive the privilege, but it also says you are responsible to manage the outcomes of said privilege. Very similarly to a rich man that has to decipher which woman is here for him and which woman just wants his money. These things that you speak of are truly just commonalities that a lot of people face. They're not as unique as you think they are. And not only that, they are not punishments. They are simply basic concepts in life. But I know she ain't gonna want to hear what I'm saying because I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, keep the change.
Hey, I'm gonna hang out with Brad tonight. Who's Brad? One of my five friends. Okay, sounds good. We're gonna be watching a movie. That sounds fun. At his house. Okay. Alone. Okay.
If you ever wanted to know what it looked like to be manipulated by a woman, you just saw it right there. You're probably wondering, how is that being manipulated by a woman? How is that what it looks like to be manipulated by a woman? She's manipulating the men. She's manipulating two audiences of people. She's manipulating the men watching this video, trying to figure out how to be a secure man. 2, she's manipulating women into believing that a secure man is a man without boundaries. I'm gonna say that again because I lost you. She's manipulating men trying to see how to be a secure man. And she's manipulating the women who are watching into believing a man who is secure is just okay with anything you do. That's not security. That's a man without boundaries. Because what do you mean you're going over to a male's house that I've never met and I don't know? Not even that I have never met. I don't even know about this person. Don't know about this person. Never met him. You're going to be at his house watching a movie alone? Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever do that? I'm telling you, all these psyops is crazy. Like, they really be trying to get the youth. I don't understand it, but hey, man.
And I think the bigger point here is modern women, you know, I guess aside, maybe not the bigger point, but like as another point, he talked about, you know, being manipulated. Why would you even want to put yourself in that position? That's the thing. You know what I mean? I have a man, and I think this is what men keep on coming back to. If you respect me, why would you even want to? You know what I mean? Now, I understand that there are some relationships where they pretty on top of things, right? And so the man and the woman, they really not going to do anything. And that it's nothing like that. You know, might be childhood friends, or, you know, we might have grown up together, or might have, I don't know, been friends in college or something like that. I have no idea. But it's not like that. This my brother, this my sister, you know. I've been coming to family gatherings for, you know, 5-10 years now. So it's nothing like that. I know there are some situations like that. I've seen that. But also, you have to think about, you know, how it looks, you know, how people will perceive it. And I know you don't base your life entirely and solely on what other people do, but your first priority, and I think it would do good for a lot of modern women to understand this, your first priority is to your man. And most modern women, they want to go about their life as it is. Like, I'm just going to keep on doing whatever I was doing before you. And the fact of the matter is, some things have to change when you're in a relationship. And a lot of modern women don't believe that.
Ladies, when you start arguing with that man, that's when you're supposed to stay. Hear me out. I'm not talking about toxic relationships. I'm not talking about these little situationships that y'all like to find yourselves in. I'm talking about an actual committed relationship. I'm talking about a healthy, successful relationship up to the point where them little petty arguments start coming up. And Nicole, how do you know this? Because I'm a certified life coach. One of my specialties is love and relationships, and I've been doing it for close to a decade. Women are typically the ones that end relationships. Men end dating phases more, meaning men have better boundaries, in my opinion, when it comes to dating. So when they see something they don't like before commitment, they're going to put a nail in that coffin, baby. They are done. They are over with it. Women, on the other hand, have a tendency to make excuses, which is why I have a whole coaching session about how to date for women. But see, when it comes to long-term relationships, women have a tendency to leave when they're just not happy anymore. And that is good. But sometimes you do it too hastily. And you may be asking yourself, well, Nicole, why is this happening? This is happening because you are now seeing the next level of this person. It's not that their character has changed. It's not that their integrity has changed. It's just that because the blinders are now off, you are getting to see different aspects of him. You're getting to see different elements of him. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person or he's bad for you. It just means that you have been invited into the next phase of intimacy. And the same thing goes for him with you. And baby, one thing I can tell you, when y'all get through this phase, y'all bond will be stronger than you could ever imagine. Because now you guys know each other on the level of not only love, care, concern, passion, right, infatuation. You know each other on the level of annoyance and aggravation. And you've realized that you can actually deal with it, that you can stick it out. You see where it's coming from. You have a better understanding of him. He has a better understanding of you. This is what you need in a relationship. A happy and successful relationship is not void of arguments. It is not void of disagreements. It is not void of him getting on your last nerves. A healthy and successful relationship means that y'all know how to get through the bad times and indulge in the good. Stay safe.
Here we go again. This woman texted this dude. She was like, why you dissed me yesterday? How come you didn't want to stay over? The guy responds back, concerned. The woman responds, about what? The guy responds back, you cool, but you had an odor and it turned me off completely. And I didn't want to upset you by saying something. The woman responds back, you saying I stank? I showered before you picked me up, so that's impossible. And you could have been smelling your upper lip. Lady, why you over here trying to put that off on him? You really could have been musty. The guy responds back with a laughing emoji. Then he continues, see, you attacking me crazy right now. That's why I didn't want to say it last night. I know what I smell. I grew up with all sisters. It ain't that deep. It is for her. There's more. The woman continues. You don't know me to speak on my body. You a perv. And I know I don't stink. You probably couldn't get it up. And you're using me as a cop-out. Yuck. Lady. All right, woman, now you doing too much. You can't call somebody a perv just because they smelled an odor that came from your nether regions. That's not how it works. The guy continues. So you mad at me for being honest? I like you. And I'm just telling you that that's why I stopped at Walgreens and grabbed the Vit Smell Goods. When I had my heat on, the odor was the strongest. Please stop attacking me, lady. Woman continues, you should have bought some smell good for you and some gum for your breath was really strong. And that's me being real with you. That ain't you being real. If you really felt that way, you wouldn't have been trying to get this man to come over your house. We ain't stupid. Let's continue. The man responds back, sheesh, you mad at me? Just shower and we can make this work. Stop attacking me. Man, you know well. You know well, we would give women chances that they would never give us. So you telling her to shower and we can make this work? That ain't gonna work. The woman continues. She says, this conversation that you, I never want to see you again. The guy responds back, I completely understand, but make sure you watch yourself better next time. The next man might not be so nice. The woman continues driving, and the man responds back, all my last night.
Ex-wife cheated and is pregnant. Reached out to me saying the other guy is abusing her. Advice? There is a trigger warning and it's unaliving. Me, 31 male, and my ex-wife, 29 female, were married for 7 years, together for 9 before she cheated and left me for the other guy. Our divorce got finalized in March of this year. The other guy is a playboy jerk who's probably 24-ish. It began from the end of last year, and in January of the current year, she tells me she wants a divorce. I found out they've been talking for an entire year before it turned physical last year, October. Divorce was smoothish as we didn't have any kids. She got the car, I kept my house and finances. After this, I was out of her life. She was out of mine. We never contacted each other except for 1 or 2 times when we saw each other in public. Her family is very conservative and they basically cut her off after she cheated and divorced. She moved in with the other guy. During this time, I found out she also lost a lot of friends as the other guy tried to hit on them or insulted them. Her ex sets of friends tried to get me involved in their fights. Immature AF, but I included this part because these sets of friends were the one to stand behind her after she had an affair, telling me she found herself and that I should probably let her go. I don't harbor any resentment towards her or the other guy. I didn't get involved with anyone during this period because I was focused on my job and earning back my money, which I lost in the divorce. Here's where I need help. 2 days back, I get a call from one of my ex-wife's friends who told me my ex-wife wanted my number. I changed it after divorce. She didn't say much when I asked her why, and told me she needed to talk. I thought it was important, as mind you, we never had any contacts, so suddenly her wanting to talk to me created a sense of seriousness for which I tell her to give my number. Yesterday, my ex-wife called. She sounded very creepy. She didn't have the voice she used to. It was broken. You could sense something was wrong. So I asked her what's up, and she broke down crying. Went on from telling how great things were to how things are now. So the other guy is a manipulative and alcoholic POS who cheated on her multiple times in their 7-month relationship. Put her in charge of finances, which meant her getting a job, and she's pregnant. Now he doesn't want to be the father, so he's telling her she cheated and he's her.
They broke up in June 2022 after about 1.5 years together, and it was a lot of support behind this relationship.
What a time that was, man. What a time.
It was like the new black love. Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey was the next big couple that the community wanted to see to come together. But all things eventually come to an end. And afterwards, Michael B. Jordan took a lot of heat from Lori Harvey's fans, Lori Harvey herself, Lori Harvey's mom, a lot of cryptic posts being put out there. And again, when you're a successful black man like Michael B. Jordan, you're not allowed to be petty. Like, just think about it. Whenever Tia Mowry is dissing Corey Hardrick or talking about she's not going back to a situation that doesn't serve her, you think that Corey Hardrick isn't upset? You think that he doesn't want to say anything back? But you want to know what? He can't say anything back because it looks very immature.
Right.
And you look like a man that is a misogynist. Woo! So you, unfortunately, as a black man, especially if you have any substance, you gotta take it on the chin. And it hurts when you take it on the chin. People are out making fun of you, saying whatever they want to say. And if you're the average black man, you got to get up there, put your clothes on every day, cry yourself to sleep, get to work and try to rebuild your life while your ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, for whatever reason, is going on and doing her thing.
Shitting on
and that's exactly what happened when Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey broke up. He was just like us, putting it all back together. But while Michael B. Jordan was being silent and just working on his craft, Lori Harvey was still running her mouth.
So figuring out what your non-negotiables are, never waver on them. And if also just not being afraid to walk away from something that is not fulfilling you, making you happy, serving you, bringing out the best in you, being able to walk away from that and be like, okay, this isn't for me, and let me move on.
The fact that Lori Harvey was the woman who most women looked up to for dating advice simply because she got ran through by high net worth individuals, like that was some type of accomplishment, and came out on the other side with nothing but a bad reputation and bitterness is beyond me.
And not feeling any shame about that. I feel like as women, they try to shame us into, you have to stay with this one person, or no, because what are people going to think? F what people think. It's your life, and you have to be happy, and you have to be fulfilled with that at the end of the day. So whatever that looks like, go do that.
Well, she is right about one thing. Definitely have to go out there and live your life regardless of what people do or say. She is right about that. And men are definitely starting to do that as well. So when you see a man not giving you the time of day, when you see a man saying, I'm just going to take a step back from dating and I'm going to go a different direction, and you see a man disrespecting you, you'll know where that came from, right? You're living your life in such a way that's going to be disrespectful. It's going to be harmful. There's going to be a whole bunch of chaos, drama, and foolishness. Modern women don't mind embarrassing you at all. Just as long as you don't embarrass them, just as long as you don't make them look bad, they don't mind what they do to you. I'm going to keep on doing it. And if you're a secure man, you'll be able to take it. Secure as far as my definition, you'll be able to take it.
I do have a friend. We've known each other for about like 5 years, but it's not intimate or anything.
Have you had them?
Maybe at the very beginning.
Wait, what do you mean maybe?
Yeah.
How do you not know if you
Well,
somebody?
it's just because we just don't see each other that way, I guess.
Well, regardless of how you see each other, past, present, future, you objectively had his inside of you.
Yes.
One way, yeah, right? I mean, so you did in fact have with him
Once.
one time.
When we thought that it was going to work out. It's just, it will never work out.
Why?
I have a lot of standards that I expect from a man.
Sure. What are those?
Someone with goals and consistency.
Does he have a job?
He does have a job, a really good job.
What's his job?
He's a sanitation worker.
That pays well, I think, right? I
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does really well.
Why only the one time? Was it bad? Good.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Wasn't good.
It wasn't the best.
You said you had high standards, right? Did the previous two men you were dating have those things?
Yes.
And did you end it with those men?
They both broke up with me.
They broke up with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So weird.
Will you date a guy who's obese?
No.
Okay. Why not?
I just prefer, I feel like, I mean, I know obviously I'm a little bit overweight, but I definitely want my partner to take care of themselves in that way, especially if we're getting a little bit older.
When you say take care, so I mean,
fit.
You want the guy to be fit. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of men that suck.
Which would imply all men.
Majority of men suck.
A majority of men
object.
suck.
I'm still
really.
prepared to- When you say majority, what percent?
If I'm being generous, 60 to 70%.
Well, let's not be generous. Let's be realistic.
65.
I'd probably agree with 65%.
65% of men suck.
Yeah.
What about our trash? What
I would
percentage-
say 65.
Still 65? What about you?
Like our absolute trash, maybe like 50.
Are you against sexism?
Yeah.
Is sexism wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you against sexism?
I'm against sexism and I think it's wrong.
How about this? If a man were to say, majority of women suck, women are trash, would you object to that categorization?
Yeah, I'd ask him why he feels that way.
So, great. Now, but do you believe you guys are being sexist towards men?
No, because I think
How?
that sexism is based on the historic oppression of a group of people, and since men have historically not been oppressed, I don't think you can be sexist towards them.
Men are scary and evil, and I want to be in a relationship, but I don't know if I'm sweating it that much when I realize that most men are evil.
No, funny, I'm gonna be so serious because some women genuinely have this sentiment, especially women like yourself that have never been in relationships before. And I think what you actually have right now is a fear of missing out. You don't actually have a desire to be in a relationship with a man. You know, those are two separate things. Wanting a relationship and wanting a man are not necessarily the same thing. Because out of a relationship, there are things that you get. You get empathy, you get companionship, you get love, you get a sense of peace, comfort, support. You want those things, but you don't necessarily want a man because you think men are evil. And why would you want something evil? The good thing is all of those things that you get out of a romantic relationship, you can have from other relationships. So you can get those there. But until you realize, why do you want a man? What do you think a man brings to the table that you would actually appreciate? That's a genuine question. And when you all are dating, you can ask the other person that question. Even women, ask men, not why do you want to be in a relationship? Ask them, why do you want to be with a woman? What do you think a woman brings to the table that is so wonderful that you want that? And honestly, if they don't have an answer, that is a sign. That is a sign that this person wants all of the benefits of being in a relationship, but they might not actually want you, whatever you bring. That's a red flag.
I'm here with Roya.
We're gonna find out the probability of your ideal man existing.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, for sure. What is the minimum income this person has to make?
Minimum 200.
200?
Yeah.
Where are you at right now currently?
150.
Wait, what do you do?
Just graduated law school.
What is the minimum and maximum age for you?
The minimum age is probably going to be about 25 or 26. I'm 27.
And then what's the oldest?
The oldest is going to be like 32.
Do you care if they're married or single?
Definitely single.
Definitely
Absolutely
single.
not married.
What's the minimum height?
The minimum height is going to be like 6'3".
What race do you prefer?
Black men.
You have a 0.023%
That's
chance.
higher than I was expecting. That's
I like the attitude.
That's
Okay,
higher than
I like the
I was expecting.
attitude. On a delusion score, you're 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Men, do better. Come on.
I just got home from a date and I have a new ick unlocked. It's when you go to a restaurant with a valet and you guys both drive. He doesn't valet his car, which is fine if he parks nearby, but he parks like 2-3 blocks away. And then you get your car and you're driving back home. You pass him still like 2-3 blocks from his car. Something about that is just very, I don't know, it's disheartening. It's very unappealing. You're gonna walk like 4 blocks to this date. Like, I love it, Little John on the streets as much as anybody else, but come on, dude.
Okay. Honey, who gives a freaking lick? Who gives a freaking lick where he parked his car on the date? Oh my God. Do you see what they're doing? They're lining up the icks. Do you remember that girl we covered where she was like, his shoes were just this color? I mean, they will say anything now.
You know why I don't engage in that 50-50 conversation that y'all love to have on here? Because I have seen way too many of my clients make 50-50 work. Matter of fact, I've seen way too many of my clients get the mindset of 50-50 and become happier in their relationship. And for those of you who are new here, I'm a certified life coach, been practicing for close to a decade. I specialize in love and relationships, self-development, and finances. I have worked with dozens of couples in my career. And something I can tell you is people have to do what works for them. Because I've also seen the flip end where the man is a provider and that works for them. That's the way that both parties are the happiest. Now, the reality is that most households actually are 50-50 in the United States. You can look it up. I'm not pulling this out my ass. Because the reality also is that one person's income cannot typically take care of an entire household. Not today. Not with inflation. Not with the economy where it is. Especially if you have a black household, because we know that we make incrementally less on average. A lot of y'all have let social media and society determine what is going to work for you. You as a woman make $30,000 a year. What makes you think that you are going to find a man that makes $100,000? And not to say that men care about income, because I honestly don't think men really care about how much money a woman makes. Like, that's not the facet they're looking for when they're looking for a partner. However, a $30,000 income is likely not going to be in the same room as a $200,000 income. Unless you want some pretty woman type stuff, right? Because it can happen, but it's unlikely. So y'all don't live in reality. Okay? If you make $30,000, $40,000 a year, you likely are going to track a $30,000, $40,000 man. And on the flip end, fellas, for those of you who think a man is not out there providing or can't afford to provide, there are plenty of men out there who are definitely taking care of the entire household. And I'm not just talking about paying the bills in the house. I'm talking about he's paying for the vacations. I'm talking about he's paying for hair and nails. I'm talking about he's paying for clothes and other expenses. And he's doing so happily because he's seeing a smile on his wife's face, and he goes to work and he makes sure he does those things so he can have that. The keys to a happy and successful relationship falls into a variety of ranges, right? But the 2 things I can say for sure you have to focus on is living in reality when choosing a partner, as well as finding someone who wants the same things as you. I promise you that you could work the rest out. Stay safe.
You know, modern women, the reason 50-50 doesn't work for a lot of these modern women is because they've already turned their brain off. They're already dedicated to not making it work. Because for some reason, I want to provide a man that provides totally and fully for me right off the bat. Okay, well, my grandpa used to do it, and my grandmother did this, and this. Well, you're not really like your grandmother. You don't really do anything around the house. So it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to actually do something. Modern women are of no use. Modern women are of no use to anybody. To be honest, not even themselves. They're lazy, they're entitled, they have attitudes. they're demanding men do things for them for no reason. I mean, come on, guys. You got to do something at some point in time. Be useful.
I got stand-up young men right now, and they only 12 and 11
They
right
have,
now.
you have boys.
But they stand
Y'all
up
stand
right
up
now.
boys,
I
not
got young
men.
niggas that
No
will.
woman can raise
But
a
they
son
will.
into a man. The only way a son can become a man is through a father. The other way is discovering it on his own. You haven't lived the male experience. You lived a female
very well male
experience. The female experience is more privileged than a man's position. This chick is on a stripper pole. Can a get on a stripper pole and make bread like that?
Yes,
Heck
you
no.
can. Yes,
No,
you
you're
can.
speaking about the exception. I knew y'all was going to
No,
say
okay.
that. That exception of men that actually go on a stripper pole and dance, they don't even make a fraction of the money that strippers make. So what I'm saying is facts. You don't have to work. You can sell and still make it. You live life on freaking easy mode. You don't get it. You can't raise no son. It ain't happening. You don't understand the male experience. So the only thing you can hope for is maybe some nigga that you can bag as a stepfather to raise that for you. And if not, you better hope that God is with your son to raise that into a man. If not, he ain't being no man. He gonna be like all of these other whips that y'all chicks complain about. Sassy boys. Oh, these is feminine. Oh, they're leading me on. They're selling me a dream. They're not being masculine and telling me the truth. He's gonna be like one of those y'all chicks complain about. What are you talking about? You raising a boy into a boy. He will never be a man.
I have to agree with him.
My girlfriend told me she was pregnant, so I had arranged to move all her stuff out behind her back. That's the title. Do we wait for that? Alright. We were dating for 1.5 years when she moved in with me. I'm now 25. Weeks ago, I got home from work and my girlfriend was standing in the living room, smiling. She showed me the pregnancy test. Oh, she showed me the positive pregnancy test. Thinking it was a TikTok prank, I played along. Yeah. When she didn't reveal it was a prank, I knew what had happened, but I continued to play along. That night, I got up at midnight and started sending emails. I took a week off work and emailed my best friend the details, telling them to pretend they knew nothing and be prepared. The next morning, I left for work as usual, but I didn't go to work. Carl, one of my best friends, was waiting outside. He had a cap and a hoodie ready for me. The whole week, we followed Katie, and on day 3, she met up with her affair partner. We followed them to a motel, and then Carl followed him to his house. The guy was married with kids. We devised a plan. I convinced Katie to go to her parents' house to tell them the good news last Saturday. While there, I gave my friends the keys to my home. At Katie's parents' house, we had lunch with her parents and her siblings first, and then Katie told them the good news. Everyone was happy. After a while, I got a call I had to take. It was my friends telling me they were done and ready. So I asked to make an announcement. I pulled Katie aside in front of everyone. I bet they thought I was going to propose. I started by telling everyone how we met, how much she meant to me, and ended with, and that's why it hurt so much that you cheated on me and got pregnant by someone else. That there? In front of the family, everyone.
I would give nothing more to be a second cousin. A second cousin in that room, because I've got no stake in this game. Wow, this is gisty.
Yeah, gisty, bro.
What?
Oh, yeah, it's tea, bro. It's serious tea. The room went silent. Katie looked shocked. She started telling me it wasn't a funny joke. I said I'm not joking. The moment you told me you were pregnant, I knew you cheated.
So has he got snip ting?
I got a vasectomy 5 years ago. And I go to checkups every year. So if you're pregnant, you've cheated. At that moment, her phone rang. I told her to answer it. It was probably blank. Obviously the guy's name blank. You know, the real father of your baby. Probably wants to talk to you about moving in. Not sure if his wife and kids are gonna like that though. What happened was that my friends had loaded up everything of Katie's into a U-Haul and brought it to they're calling him AP. Brought it to AP's home. When they called me, they were in front of his house for the final part. They rang the doorbell and asked AP where they can put her things.
Your father taught you that you're his little princess, didn't he? Yes. He taught you you're perfect, didn't he? He really f***ed you up, didn't he?
Yeah. Thank you, Dad.
Yes.
Love
He
you.
taught you to expect the man in your life to be the same as him. But see, there's only one problem. He didn't have to put up with your because you valued and admired him.
You're good, right? You're so good. 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 Wow. Yes.
And he didn't have sex with you, so there wasn't the peace of you feeling a sense of control over him. It wasn't something you could give or withhold from him. It would not affect his sense of love with you. So you had no power, so you worked to please him. It made you believe that love is something that should be expected and you could take it away because it was always there from him. and you've taken it away from this man. I'm not defending anything this man has done. I don't know what he's done. I bet he's done some stupid things that he probably hates himself for. But so have you. And if I was coaching, I would probably tell him to move on. Because this girl acts sweet, is sweet, and will take away love in a heartbeat if she doesn't get what she wants. Because she's lived a life where she could. If her father had not taught her she's a princess, she would learn that she would have to find a way to meet the needs of others, not just herself and her children. And she would never take love away because she wouldn't take the risk. As a result of that, their relationship could be more deep. Because it all changed when children came, and it wasn't the children, it's that she decided the love of the children was her priority, and she pulled back love from him without meaning to initially, but then when he didn't do things she wanted the way she wanted, she got mad, and then she did do it deliberately. And he didn't understand that at first, and then he felt hurt, and then that turned into anger, and then he did stupid things because he's used to being able to make things happen.
Wow. Man's just explained an entire generation of marital issues like he's got a camera in all of our houses. We require boys to be good men, but we don't require girls to be good women. And that lack of requirement is due to the protection of their feelings. Without balance, an overprotective father may be as detrimental as a father that was never there. For your little princess may develop into an over-entitled, spoiled brat that wreaks havoc.
This is actually something so frustrating to men because they hold themselves back from approaching women since they've been told time and time again that women don't want to be approached. But then here's these women wondering why men aren't approaching them while they're looking like they are having the worst time ever. Which is so frustrating because it feels like a game and meeting new people is tough enough. Especially when you don't want this to be the thing that's eliminating potentially good partners. I mean, there's already enough crazies out there, which is why I always recommend to men to do a public data check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com before pursuing.
Give me an example of how you're actually currently being oppressed.
Because those systems have been in place so long where women shouldn't have jobs, women shouldn't have financial stability, women shouldn't be in charge of their own finances, a lot of families have come to think that that is the truth. They have come to accept that. And so a lot of families don't prioritize their daughters getting educated or etc.
So what do you have to say then across the nation in the United States? The higher education gap, it's like 60-40, 60% women, and this was the case since 1980. So perhaps historically this might have been the case, but now that the gap exists in the other way, are you prepared to say that there's discrimination and sexism against men given the disparity?
No, I'm not prepared to say that.
But there's a gap that exists.
Yeah, and why is that gap there?
Maybe because women are being presented with more opportunities just because they're women.
Is the female population not higher than the male population?
Perhaps in a very small way, it wouldn't account for such a massive gap in higher education.
And you know, Cooley is hollering and he's really passionate, but this is serious business. I don't think modern women really understand how, I don't want to say inept, but ill-equipped they are at raising young men. They really are not good at it. They don't know how to do it. And you can talk about, you know, my little baby and this. But once he gets older, you're really at the mercy of him. Now, because he loves you and you're his mom, he'll probably give you that respect. But if he decides to go sideways and not listen to what you got to say, you're going to stay in this house, or you're going to do this, and this, that man can leave. I'm thinking about a dynamic where the man is like, I want to say probably about 6'2", 6'3", probably about 6'2", 6'3", probably about 305. He's a lineman. He's a D lineman. His mama was probably about 5'1". She was a little bit on the bigger side, but probably about 5'1". If he wanted to, That woman couldn't do nothing with him, God rest her soul. She couldn't do nothing with him. But it's only because he respected his mama and he loved his mama. If that young man don't love and respect you, you're cooked. You're cooked. You need a role model. You need a man somewhere in that young boy's life to lead him to where he's supposed to go. A lot of modern women think they have the answers. Not on this one, you don't.